Just gonna kind of talk to myself because I work best talking to myself for some strange reason. Alright, just a little mic check there, making sure I'm all good. Pop out chat. Send this to Discord. Alright, so I'm basically, what I'm doing right now is working on a way to standardize deleting objects in Flask SQL Alchemy. Because right now there's not a good way to do that, which kind of sucks. And what I've discovered so far is it is an instrumented list. It's an instrumented list of Flask. Oops. I don't know why the copy doesn't really work. So it looks like an instrumented list, which I don't think I've ever heard of, is actually specific to SQL Alchemy. Yeah. So it's like a set, functions like a set. So I wrote this little function here. Let me clean this up a little bit, just so you can get a better idea of what's going on. Yeah, just clear the screen here. All right, so I made this function called get. Wait, is it get relationships? Yeah, and I can pass in a Flask SQL Alchemy model. And you can see that it gets relationships. So my next question is, where it'll get all the relationships. And what it does is it just iterates through all of the dir method of the user, and it will filter out all the set classes, and then it'll look for any field that has the attribute type of this this instrumented set. So that's kind of how it determines. But now the question is, because then I'm going to basically rerun the same method, but with each of these objects. And then what I need to do essentially is, I need to determine, for example, if I'm deleting a user, do I always want to delete every return that that user has done, or should I just set the primary or the constraint to something else? You know what I mean? So yeah, let's figure that out. So let's try a different one. We're gonna do from our system.models import return. I'm gonna say r equals return dot query dot first. And you can see here that we're going to have a user. And this is essentially the user that created it. So what we need to do is say, what is the type of get attribute? Well, I guess we don't need to do that. What is the type of r.user? All right, so it's an int. So that's good. So that wouldn't get filtered. But if I do the type of r.items, yeah, that's that instrumented list. So if I were to do get relationships of r, no. I think I screwed up my Stupid. All right. Well, I did the same thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this in VS Code. So we're going to put this under the delete method. So let me, oops. Actually, I don't need this open. I think I can do this. Actually, I do need one line, which is that from this. Do need this. Otherwise, I will not remember. I do need this object. So, let's go up here, and we are going to, what order should this be in? It should be last. Right? This comes after. Yeah. So, this instrumented list is essentially what we're going to be looking for within each object. And so, for example, if I have a let's write the function first. I'll just write it here. Actually, you might want to put this in utils. Oh yeah, I gotta put this in here as well. Import stream from Flask. Stream and response. So I'm gonna put this in my utils module. I'm going to say get model relationships, and then we're going to input the object. How are we going to yeah, that's fine for now. So we're going to first iterate through this. So we're going to say for attribute in of object, and then we're going to say if attribute dot starts with this, or attribute dot starts with this, then we're going to continue. And this is just a nice little measure, so it doesn't have to check the attribute. It just makes it a little bit more efficient. So we're just gonna, filter those first, and then I'm gonna say if the type of get attribute of the object and the attribute is equal to, and then this is where we need that. Schema. This. Grab this. ORM collections import instrumented list. Yeah. So if it's equal to instrumented list, do this. Should this be a generator? No. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So if it is, then I guess we'll just make a response variable here. Actually, it doesn't have to be in a particular order, so I'll make a set. Isn't it set.add? I'm not 100% familiar with sets, so let me just double check. And when we get a set, sets.add. So we'll say set because it's way better for performance. And when you're dealing with an API endpoint, you're looking for any efficiencies you can get. So we'll say response.add. Whoops, add, and we're just going to add. What will we add? We would add the here. It has to be a list. No, intermittent list. So then we need to iterate through this list. So then we need to say for Flask object in get attribute of object attribute. And then we would add that Flask object to that. And then once it's done iterating through all of that, then we can return return response. That would, so that'll return, hopefully. So let's go ahead and try this out real quick. I'm just going to do this with a quick test. In the schema, when it first loads, I'm going to just say R equals, do I import a return? Do I? Yes, I import a return. So we'll say R equals return.query.first. And then I want to print, and from utils, let's from .utils import, what do we call it? Get model relationships. And then we will print get model relationships of R. So okay. None type is not iterable. What? How was that none type? We just. Let me go ahead and print get attribute object attribute. guess just add another if. You know what, can we use a little operator here? Type of Flask or relationship. I'll use a walrus operator. So if the type of this relationship, so we just print relationship, and then we'll say if not relationship, continue. Am I using that? I think, does it need parentheses? False. False. It equals false. Boy. Maybe I did that wrong. I'm kind of new to the walrus operator, so gotta, oh, there we go. Started. Started. So it has a user. So user 4. That's the owner, though. I thought it would return an empty list. So the first one was none. First one was none. And then we have a user 4. So that's the owner. I thought it would return an ID, not a user. It's concerning. Shoot. Maybe if it is iterable. Can we do that? Let's say from collections, just from collections, import iterable. And then we'll say, so if it's non-existent, or the is instance relationship. Wait, spell that right? Why isn't that showing up? Iterable. So it's just gonna check, is it iterable? If it's not iterable, then it'll continue. Otherwise it will. So it's just looking for instrumented lists. And here, let's print this, and we're gonna print type of relationship. All right, let's try that. Yeah, I know. Didn't I just check this? Non-class. How did it get? Am I tripping right now? Relationship has to be I feel like this should work, right? Because if it doesn't have the iterable, False. It's false. Oh, I put a not in front of there. So, oh shoot. Or not. So maybe if I do a double negative, that's kind of silly, but you know what I mean. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. Wait a minute. Why is it giving me a bunch of returns? Shouldn't it give me items? What is this? Let me delete this. What I'm saying is, if it is, then we iterate through. I guess a string would be iterable too, but that means it shouldn't have made it past this. Am I crazy? It shouldn't have made it past that. Yeah, how did an int, how did an I make it past that, or a p? And why is it giving me returns? Why is it not giving me? It should give me. Where did I put this schema? Shit, man, shit. Let me download the attribute. Give a type of this. Oh shit, wait, no, I'm sorry. See, how are these making it? See, it should just be this one. Wait. Using or importing the ABCs from collections instead of using collections.abc is depreciated since 3 and 3.9 will stop working. So I need to do what's the alternative? Should I just try? Okay, well nonetheless, like okay, I'm printing out this and it's not, it doesn't equal an instrumented list. How is it not filtering that? Oh, I see. Okay, so when I did the walrus operator, I was getting the attribute, not the relationship. Man, I see what I'm talking about? I keep screwing this up. I say if. Oh my god, that was so loud. Holy hell. Wow, that just made my eardrums bleed. Oh, wow. Okay. So if, then we need to say right here, relationship equals type. Remove this, get attribute, and then that should be get attribute type. There we go, relationship. All right, now I'm screwed up. This needs to go away, and that should be correct. All right, let's try that again. Interesting. All right, interesting. I wonder, does this one have any items? Excuse me. Let me do filter by, and I'll say ID equals a specific one. Let me grab one from my database. Local host / API / return. Hold on. I just need one that has items in it. Oh, I accidentally turned SSE on. I was like, why is it? There we go. Yeah, so number 256 has 256. And it returns a empty set. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Okay. 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 Well, we know this works now. Good. And then we're checking if it's iterable. Maybe print just real quick, let me just do relationship not oh oh my god, because I'm saying relationship is the type. You know what, we're just gonna remove that. I think the walrus operator is kind of messing me up here. I'll be honest, I'm just kind of learning walrus operators. I'm not super versed on them yet. So we're just gonna do it like this. We're gonna say relationship. We don't need another variable. It's just gonna take up more memory that we can't really afford. So we're just gonna call this each time. So we're gonna say if the relationship doesn't exist or the relationship is not iterable, then we're going to say this is not iterable. Okay, so go ahead and try that again. And, oh, there we go. Perfect. So there we go. Now we have a utility to cycle through these, and I should probably make a test case for this. So I'm going to make a new file and call this test_utils. So this is just going to be testing my utilities. I'm just going to copy this real quick and go into here. And we can just delete this, and we will do test_ get model relationship. And we're just going to use the 250 as an example because that one seemed to work all right. We'll say the app will say from rga.models import return, and we're going to say r equals return.query.filter by, and we're going to say id equals 256 dot first, and then we're going to do from, can actually probably import it in here from here. And now we want all of our imports in one area. We'll say from rga.utils import get model relationship. So we're going to get self.assert. Okay, well, let's just say this. Not none. So we'll make sure it's not none. And then we're going to do R. And then we're going to do self.assert equals equal, and we're going to say type of R should be a set, and self.assert not none. Where is it? Not is not none. Is not none. R. Cool. So then we're going to change this to utils test, and we don't need this. So let me just go ahead and run this. Cool. There we go. Very cool. Very cool. Anyway, okay, so that's that. Now we have that ability to get models from Flask. Great. This is great. You know, honestly, like, this is gonna just serve as a good backbone for any structure that I make. So yeah, great. Got that. Make sure everything's running fine over my actual job. I guess this isn't my actual job, but you know what I mean. Okay, so cool. We got that. We wrote the test for it. We wrote the doc string for it, and now we're going to actually implement it. We're going to try this out. So we basically, and the reason I started doing this was I wanted to write a test case to be able to create, update, and delete a return. So the idea is it'll create it, it'll change something about it, and then it will delete it. But what I don't want, clearly, is to, and this reminds me, I should probably switch this from the live server to a SQLite server, because the live server has everything on it, and I don't want to accidentally iterate through something and delete everything. That would kind of suck. So let's go ahead and change that. It's going to be in our app.py. Which this is our live server. So I think what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to shut this off because I have to go into my config file real quick, so I don't want you to see it. Going to, under the security, I'm going to put develop or database. Under the database, I'm going to put develop, maybe dev mode equals true. I'll just make one called dev mode under database. So put that back. So what I'll say is if config.get boolean database, I'm going to say dev mode. So if that is equal to true, maybe we should say, yeah. then we're going to set our app configuration to actually a SQL. Well, I don't want all that. We'll say app.config at, what is it? SQL alchemy underscore database underscore URI is equal to, and this is where I'm going to have to look up. I don't remember the syntax. I actually looked it up earlier on another one of my streams, and I've already forgotten it because I am just mentally not there sometimes. But nonetheless, I do have a lot of databases running on SQL Alchemy, or excuse me, SQLite. So luckily, I have it in lots of places, which I have it right here. Found that very quickly. Where was I? So basically, if it is in dev mode, then it'll set it equal to that. Otherwise, we're going to set it equal to the live server. And this is not pep8 at all, but I don't care right now. I don't care. I will figure that out later. Next thing that we're going to need to do is actually create the database. So I'm going to say from rga.app import db. And we're going to say db.create all. db is not defined. I know there's no such table. I need to create it first. What do you mean? I need to delete it first. Hold on. And you know what? Let's actually do that as well. So we'll say if, we'll say try db.create all, except just pass. Well, it didn't create it, so it's unfortunate. Let's make sure that that is working. Yes, yes, it is. Maybe I need to set the secret key before that. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Maybe because I'm importing things before I'm creating the database, maybe I should probably do that. No, that has nothing to do because I create the app first. So what am I doing here? I am importing the app, which is running down this, and it defines DB. DB hooks up to SQLite, and I have SQLite installed. Yep, I do. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because I never changed the this little test that I was running here. So when it imports schema, it's like, wait, there's no database. There we go. And well, I don't see a data.db, so that's something. Oh no, there it is. Make sure it created all of these. It did not create them correctly, obviously. What? Where's it open in Python? What other? I don't have any other Python. Oh yeah. All right. Oh God. Damn it. Why does it work with the other one, but it doesn't work with this one? Maybe it's because I didn't import any of my models. I import them down here. Maybe that's why. Maybe, am I dumb? I might be dumb. Let's try this. Ah, there we go. Now we have things. Let's go ahead and try to run our test. Well, our test isn't going to work now because well, I mean, that's kind of what the test's supposed to do. Think about it. It's going to create the data and then delete it, so it doesn't actually work with live data. Okay. Let's go ahead and run our API test. Let's go over to test API. And so this will create a user. What we want to do is well, what we kind of want to do is run this in succession. So we kind of want to create we can put this all under one function where it creates it, updates it, views it all, and then deletes it, cleans it up basically. So we could have a one test function for the whole thing. So we could just have a test return API, basically. Oh, this mic stand is really sketching me out right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is our user. And now what we want to do is define, we'll just say test return API. And we're going to start with, it does need a user though. Excuse me, I'm going to get some water real quick. I'm back. I have to go on a quick call in 3 minutes, so I will be gone in about 3 minutes. I mean, just on a quick pause, but damn it, I'm already out of water again. Let's find out more in my car. Okay, let's just quickly write this real quick. Now I'm thinking about it, it might be good if we separate the user. So we create a user, then does it in succession? Because then what about items? You know what I mean? Maybe I should just make it one huge function where it creates a user, creates a return, adds items to the return, adds images to the items, you know what I mean? And then it deletes everything. Because what I did have, I had my setup in Teradon. The setup, it created a user, and then it passed that user to the... Fuck. How to do this? I gotta put eye drops on, by the way. I don't know if I have something I'm allergic to in my eye, but I got something in my eye. I hate putting eye drops on. I hate putting eye drops in. It's so messy as well. I don't know if I rub my eye too hard. Okay, I'll be right back. I need to mute my mic for a second and take a call. Give me uno momento. You guys can... here's some music. Turn on some music. And I know I'm literally just talking to myself. But nonetheless, you get the idea. Let me find something. Let's do something like a nice... I can't hear it. Why can't I hear it? Can you hear it? Is it coming through? Oh
Really why give me what I'm at the mama likes it. Like it, love it, tamaran. Take it, out in ubata. Uso, flame, suju shite. Eru nante iranai. Shut it, save it, susume. Shower, jiki ni yeah. Knowing you want all this woman. Hajimatte mite. Mawari ga dashite love you with me. Tomodachi ga say you might commit it. Really ne anybody kawari ga nai. All of the body ありふれていい夜は冷まれずっと のでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっと言葉にすれば消えちゃう関係なら言葉を消せばいいやって思ってた恐れてただけどあれなんか違うかも千里の道も一歩から石のように硬いそんな意志で地にも積もれば大和なでしこ死ぬ気でいや死ぬ気でふわふわりふわふわるあなたが名前を呼ぶそれだけで宙へ浮かぶふわふわるふわふわりあなたが笑っているそれだけで笑顔になる神様ありがとう運命のいたずらでも巡り会えたことが幸せなのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっとそうそんなんじゃやだねえそんなんじゃまだ私のこと見ててねずっとずっと私の中のあなたほどあなたの中の私の存在はまだまだ大きくないことも分かってるけれど今この同じ瞬間共有してる時間塵も積もれば大和なでしこ略してちりつも大和なでこクラクラリクラクラるあなたを見上げたらそれだけで眩しすぎてクラクラるクラクラリあなたを思っているそれだけで溶けてしまう神様ありがとう運命のいたずらでも巡り会えたことが幸せなのふわふわりふわふわるあなたが名前を呼ぶそれだけで宙へ浮かぶふわふわるふわふわりあなたが笑っているそれだけで笑顔になる神様ありがとう運命のいたずらでも巡り会えたことが幸せなのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっとそうそんなんじゃやだねえそんなんじゃまだ私のこと見ててねずっとずっとワンツーワンYeah くして私のものにするあなたの髪の一本あれ全部雨なんだぜセンレス震えてるわよ下ろさせもしないわ手をいた全国止まらないレスリング誰にも触らせないこのまね雨なんだぜセンレス坂の覚悟決めて震えたたばれマイハート欲しがるようじゃねまだベイビー誰にも負けない感じさせてハニー何も知らないような顔で落とすわあなたも読み切って Let's go 手をいたって見逃さないどんな小さなズルだって私の目はごまかされないわ雨はなぜセンレス叩いては骨まで愛し尽くしてあげる出会った獲物は逃さない唇鳴らしていただかないでダイヤのジャックで手が揃うわ笑みを殺し待つだけ私の僕 Place by it's perfect 一部の隙も見せたりしないわして私のものにするあなたの髪の一本あれ全部雨なんだぜセンレス震えてるわよそこのブレイクは手をいた全国たまらないレスリング誰にも触らせないこのまね雨なんだぜセンレス坂の覚悟決めて灰になるまで打って欲しがるようじゃねまだベイビー誰にも負けない感じさせてハニー
Good shit. All right. Thanks for waiting. Okay, back to what I was doing. Make sure you can hear me. Yeah, okay, I'm good. All right, back to what I was doing. Sorry about that. I just had to have a quick call. Business stuff. So, all right. So we have our database. Basically, we were trying to figure out how we should do these tests the best way we can do these tests. So I think what I'm gonna do I think we're gonna have like a persistent test user, and then I'm going to have the user separate. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's do this. For our tests, I'm going to remove this test. Oh. Yeah, because there's no user. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to create a user by hand. No, I'm going to temporarily remove the just going to temporarily remove that. And actually, because I just need a user, I'm just going to comment out everything except for didn't I just say it doesn't need to be authorized? Oh yeah, because we're getting all users. So shoot. This is what we'll do. Temporarily, going to just create a new user. Oh, it did create it. That's good. So there we go. And I'm actually going to copy this and just do new database. Where is it? I haven't used this editor in a while. Where is it? Where can I create a new object? Add row, insert new record. Yeah. All right. I'm going to change the ID to 10. The username will be external app. External apps. And there we go. Right. So now we have that. So now if we run this. Oh, wait, actually, don't run this. Hold on. We now want to uncomment out the delete section. So now we have a test user. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, still getting a problem. It still has a problem. Seems to still have the same issue. But we have a user 10, right? Ah, okay. Jojo do. Also, go ahead and delete that other one. Oh, that should have an ID of 10. Right. Line 46. Don't get data int. It should be an int, but it is a string. Oh, there's a duplicate. That's why. Yeah, it's gonna be a duplicate. Oh yeah. Also need a unique username, I suppose. Did it create the user though? Let's see. It did. I did not delete it. Did not delete it. Oh yeah, it's 201. Wait, 201 for deleting? Hold up. For deleting a user? It's a 201. Is 201 deleted resource? API deleted resource / code. It should be a 204. Did I not have an... I didn't make this an F string. Oh yeah, I did. Wait, what? 201 does not equal 200. Data errors null status true. Huh. Where am I saying 201? What line is this? 47. 47. Wait, oh. Wait, what the hell is this? No, this would be 200. No, 201. Created resource. And then this should be 204. And we don't really need to... Sorry, I got that message all screwed up. And if this fails, then we'll go ahead and provide the response node data. Alright. God damn it. Oh yeah, because now I have to delete the last one. So there should be 3, yeah. This one, I need to delete that. And now, our test should work fine. Great. Great, great, great. Alright, and then I have this, where the hell is this 3 exclamation point? Ah, stupid. Also, we can set this key. Doesn't need to be in that order. Alright, so there we go. Now, if we run this test, there should not be a duplicate because it should have deleted. Yep, great. All right, so creates a user, removes it. Wonderful. And we still have our user 10 for, which is going to be an admin level access. Great, great, okay. God, my eye hurts. I don't actually know what to do about it. It hurts really bad. Kind of want to get more water. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. All right. So let's start testing this delete. No. I'm sorry. We got to finish out the test for this. Where the hell's the rest of my code? Did I accidentally delete it? I accidentally deleted it. That's fine. We needed to redo it anyway, so not a big deal. So we're going to define a test return API. And what this is going to do, we're going to return return item. So we're going to combine the return and item API into one. We're just going to use the user 10 for testing. No, user 1. I'm sorry, user 1. So this is going to create, update, and delete a return with items. Yeah, so let's start first by creating the return, looking at our schema and just look at what that's going to look like. And also I need to, not our schema, our API. Also I need to uncomment this out. And then add, under the delete, I need to add 204 to these. 204, 200, 201, 204. Excuse me. Okay. So let's start by creating this return, which is going to be this endpoint right here. So we're going to start by creating an object, and I'm going to go over to my models and look at my return. So we're going to say ticket. I'm just going to say ticket, that ticket. Phase, request created, RGA, which is an integer, yeah, so make a random RGA. The reason, I'm just going to say processor error. The you don't really need to fill either of those out. Purchase order underscore order. Is that a string? That's a string. I'm going to say PO 1234. Account. Printed. Don't really need that. Invoice, that'll be a function soon enough. It's a string for some strange reason. DOT status, which has the weirdest naming convention I've ever seen. Notes. Link ID, again, strange that this is a string, but whatever. It's our link ID. Lot IDs. Something like that. Items we'll do in a second, and user will be 1. So we're going to assign it to that 1. Okay. Also, maybe we should make this. Hold on, I'm going to edit my config file for a reason. No looking at my config file. I'm going to add a new section on the config file called tests. I'm going to say default test user is just equal to an integer, which I'm just going to say 1. So I'm going to save that, close out of it, and we are good to show. Okay. So up here I'm going to say, oh, we do import config. Great. Oh wait, I needed that. I don't know why I just deleted that. I'm botting out. So I'm going to config.get int for tests, and then default test user. So if that ever changes, I can just find it in the default config file. So now we're going to do a post. So we're going to say response equals self.app.post, and we're going to do -API-return. JSON is going to equal return payload, and then our query string is going to equal this. I'm just going to copy it. What character limit am I at? I'm past the character limit. I love Pep8 in many ways and hate it in many other ways. It's fine though. So right away we're just going to self.assert assert equal, and we're going to do response.status code. It should be a 201 resource created. Let me double check that. API 201. So we're expecting a 201, and we're expecting to get the ID back. If I go under my schema and go to the create object, which now I'm thinking about it, this probably shouldn't be in the schema. Maybe I think this should maybe be in the utils. Maybe schema utils. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to return status. It's going to be status true. Object ID. Yeah. So it should be self.assert equal. We're going to say the response.json.get data should be, well, the type. Should be an int. And the self.assert true. We're going to say response.json.get status should be true. Great, so now we have this. And then we're going to delete it. And I think, actually, right now, with the current schema, it should actually just delete it because it has no associated keys. So in theory, should be able to delete this without any hiccups as long as I don't add any items. Let me check that though. Delete object return should be the same as this. Value return 204. Yeah, so it should be the same. So we're just going to delete that. We're going to say return ID equals response.json.get data. So that should be that. And then what we're going to do is say self.app.delete dash return dash. This is where we're going to do the return ID. And again, we need this authorization. And no JSON or anything. It should be good. And then we'll make this the new response variable. And then we're just going to self.assert equal. And it should be response.status code is equal to 204. And self.assert, that should be it actually. Just that it did delete properly. Let's go ahead and create this. I run this test. 404. Interesting. What line? 86. Oh, dash API. Did it delete? No, it failed. It failed. I just can't see. Can't see one thing at a time here. That was line 86. Oh, was that the only thing that failed? I think that was the only thing that failed. Cool. And that's an easy fix. So let me go into my data here and see. Look at that. Awesome. So, dash API dash return should be equal to 204. Run that. There we go. There we go. And then we also just want to include some messages here. So we're just going to do message equals response dot data, and we're just going to ping that on to the rest of these, just in case any of them fail. I just love it when things just work. It's nice. So we created it. Okay, and then we deleted it. And we're going to get to this deletion a little bit later. So now we want to update it. So this is it. Creating, return. And then we're going to update, return. Then we're going to add items to return, and then we're going to update items, and then we're going to delete one item, and then we're going to delete, oh wait, that's right, return, and the delete return part we've already done. Okay, so now let's update the return, now that we've gotten that down. So we're going to say update return payload equals, and so we're just going to update the purchase order to updated PO 1234. We're going to save that, and we're going to do response equals self.app.put, and we're going to do dash API dash return dash return ID. Is that an F string? And then again, we're going to say JSON equals update return payload, and then we're going to have to add that query string. And that is going to be longer than 79,123. My bad. Is this 81? Oh, I'm gonna have to split this here. It's weird. Oh, it's still too long. Wild. Actually wild. Whatever. So then we're gonna say, now that we updated it, we're gonna say self.cert equal the response.status code should be equal to, what do we have to put at? We had some spaces here. I can barely like read this. It's like not legible. Right, what is a put again? It's a 2.0 something. API put status code. Successful. Should be 201, 204 no content, 200. Status code for update delete. Put. Yeah, 200. So let me just leave that. Should be a 200. If not, I'm just gonna say response.data. Cool. And then we're going to check to see that it What does it return? Just curious on a update object. Update object returns the ID of the updated object. Do we really want to? Yeah, we will. So we're gonna response.json.get data. Oh, and the type should be equal to an int. Type should be equal to an int. Testing is annoying, but it's so like needed. But yes, things could go a lot faster if you didn't need to test everything. Whatever though, it'll be nice. So we've updated the payload, and then we will delete it. So let's just try this out. I guess then we could like try to like look it up just to be sure. So we will self.app or response equals, and we will now get return, and we will self.app.get dash API dash return dash the same return ID, and then the same thing with the query string. It's like right on the border too. It sucks. And then we're going to self.assert equal the response.json.get purchase order should be equal to what we changed it to up here. Okay, and then it will delete it. So let's run this. See if we get any. Oh, expected value. Expected parameter value. Line 96. You know, I just thought of something. Let me do a teardown as well. I'm gonna do a teardown. So I'm going to do right here. I'm gonna do define teardown. Is it self.teardown? No, teardown. And basically what we're gonna say is if there is a self.return ID, we're just gonna try to delete. Even if it fails, just try. Because otherwise I have to keep doing this where I have to go and delete and save and close. It's really annoying. So this will just verify that it is deleting even if something fails. Which, speaking of which, I think that proves a point with this where I am not passing the value. I am not passing the value equals value into this for any of these, actually. Do I even have that on the schema? I don't. This is disgusting, by the way. Should be good enough. All right, what was the other one? here. Oh shit. What failed? Keyword argument repeated. 94, API 94, 94, 94, 94. Oh shit. What was I? I was literally botting out. Actually botting out. API test has no object. What? Self-dot return data. Did something fail above it? Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. And that means I just accidentally created a new user that I do not want. User. No, actually I didn't. Just kidding. So we're gonna say if has attribute self and return ID. Sorry. We're just going to do that. Okay. Try that again. Great. There we go. And let me just double check my data. Make sure that there was no returns. Nope. And no extra users. Nope. Great. So that looks good. 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 And you know, I actually do want to print. Can I print something? PO, updated PO. Great. So yeah, that works. Get rid of that now. She's just so eager to get off. Oh man, people are so funny. People are so funny. All right. Oh yeah, invoices are done by the way. Sorry, I just gotta check up on one thing. I knew it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Disconnect. There you go. Takes forever, I swear. Alright, let me start a task real quick. Click, and click. Cool. You know, my my mini fridge is hooked up to the same outlet that my monitor is, and when my mini fridge like turns on, like it like makes that tick, completely disconnects my monitor, and I have to turn it off and turn it back on. It's very annoying. Hold on, I gotta read a couple emails real quick. Thank you very much for submitting the first change request form. Ticket number is 458. Let me schedule a meeting. Invited. Yep, looks good. Send. Dear all. for our first change request. Let's see here. We will review the attached and would like to do a brief over. Thank you very much. Great. Hi Jose. Thank you for the email. What did I start to September 23rd? Please confirm that this will be all right. Yes, this should be fine. The new duplicate feature will be available starting Monday, and 2 errors while 1. It's the same email. Please advise. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Looks good to me. Cool. Alright, so we got that. And then we delete it. So now we need to add an item to this. So let's create an item now. Let's create an item. Jesus Christ, I'm watching this video and this... Dude, hit that bitch. Hit that bitch. This sounds really bad, but there's this girl. A guy broke up with this girl at school. And she fucking takes like this egg and smashes it over his head. I'm joking, by the way. Should not hit a woman, obviously. But she like hit him pretty hard while he wasn't even ready for it. And then she's still like taunting him and stuff. Because she knows nothing's going to happen to her, you know? She knows he's not going to hit her. If he hits her, his life's over. Just kind of how it works in our society, you know? Kind of crazy, actually, when I think about it. But it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. Wait, why aren't these coming through? What the hell? No, there we go. Must have just started. Cool. Alright, so let's finish out these tests. I'm going to do now add an item. I'm going to add a new item to this boy. Baba boy. We're going to add a new item to this Baba boy. Alright, so item payload equals, and let's go to our models real quick and look at what we got under the items. So for the items, we have a catalog number. We have a status. We have, which will say requested. We have a lot ID, which I think normally would just leave blank right now. We have a DOT underscore status. We have a serial, which we'll fill out in a second. I'm going to get an actual item with a barcode. We have a match. We have a notes. Item notes be like we have customer action. We'll say something like that. We have a tracking number. And then we have images, and we have the return ID. And the return ID is going to be equal to our return ID. There we go. Nice. So we have gotten the payload down, and then we're going to do self.app.post, and we're going to do -API-item. We're going to say JSON equals item payload, and then this thingy here. Which there's a way we could like add that, you know, or just put it in as a default, but whatever. I'm hungry. I'm already hungry again. How is that possible? Also, listen to this.
Why would anyone do drugs when they could just mow a lawn?
True. Facts right there. Actually facts. Okay, so let's assert some data. I'm gonna assert equal, and we're gonna do response dot, or we'll start naming this more appropriately. Item response dot status code should be equal to 201. And right here we're gonna define item response. That's good. And then what we want is self.assert equal. Is there no, there's no like type. I know is instance of. Can I do? Isn't it from unit test import assert? No. You need to make the class and make it a subclass and everything. Let's see, if I have x is equal to a list, I say is instance x list, it's true. But if I say string, false. Okay, so maybe I could do that, like equals instance, assert is instance, and we'll say item dot. How would you even do this? Do you have to do type? I don't think so. Do item.json.get data should be an int. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I guess we'll find out. So that creates an item, and then we're gonna want to just update that item. So we're gonna say item update payload. We're gonna say let's update the status to be damaged. Something like that. Oh, I'm so hungry. I might make a sandwich. I don't know. Let me go get water at the very least. 1 second. I also have to pee. I'm back, and I didn't get water. I just want to pee. Alright, so we got this payload here. And we're going to do a item update response equals self.app.put dash API dash item dash, and then we're going to say also item ID equals item response dot JSON dot get data, and then we'll say self dot item ID equals item ID equals item ID. Sorry, bought it out there for a second. Okay. Item ID. And we're going to say, where are we at? 81, 81, 61, 61. JSON, yeah, it's going to have to be a separate line right there. JSON equals item updated payload, and this garbage here. That's far past. Unlucky. It's fine. Alright, now we're going to assert self.assert equal, I guess actually assert, yeah, no, equal item updated response dot status code is going to be equal to 200. Also, sorry, I forgot to add the message just in case any of these fail. And then self.assert is instance. Well, no. Assert equal. We want to get the item, the response.json.get. I'm sorry, no, I want to get the item to see if it's updated. So we're just going to do that. Actually, now we're going to get the item. So we're going to say, so now we're going to get item. What did I say up here? Yeah, get item. Get item. So we're going to say self dot or item response get item response equals self dot app dot get dash API dash item dash. This will be the item ID. And we just want to make sure this updated. So we will say, well, this will be this trash again. That's more than, yep, more than what I wanted. Fine. And so then we just need self.assert equal. Assert equal, we want to make sure that it is returning a 2.status code is returning a 200 response. And then we want to say assert equal get item response dot JSON dot get. What do we update? The status should be equal to damaged. And then we're going to want to delete this item. This, yeah, I want to delete this item. Huh, interesting. Should probably get loop for that. My little mic stand like rotator thingies kind of not the greatest. All right, so now that we got it, we're gonna now delete the item. Oh, why do I have this down here? You know what? Nah, it's fine. I'll rewrite it. Delete item equals self.app.delete dash API dash item dash. Why do I keep doing that? It has to be an F string. Item ID and then the this. Literally still have it. And then we're going to say if our self.assert equal the delete item dot status code should be equal to 204. The message being the delete items dot data. And that should be it. So then we delete the item, then we delete the return, and then we just want to also have the tear down of the item as well. So we're going to say has attribute return, or excuse me, item ID. And then we're just going to want to delete that item ID. So let's run this and see what happens. Yeah. I don't see any. Oh, okay. Already failed. Nice. Line what? Line what? Should equal an int. But instead it equals this garbage. And I know what it is. I already can tell you what it is. I'm returning. What am I returning here? Wait, no. No, that's right. Line 142, bar test 142. The type of data should be an int. What is this for? Update. Instead, it's returning weird. It returns the whole thing. Oh my god. But yeah, no, that still should be Anyway, let's clean this up. See if it returns item users. Good. So it did work. It did clean it up successfully. It did delete it successfully at least. So now that I fixed that, string cannot be int. All right, what's going on here? Set attribute. Let's just see what the message is. No entry found. No entry found. This is a weird way to put this. We should just do if not request.args.get by, then by equals ID, else self, else. That's funny actually. Oh, I'm sorry. By equals ID. Actually, this can be compressed into one line. We'll just say by equals ID, or yeah, ID if not request.get.args.get id else. Wait, there must be a better way. Request.args.get by if this else by else id. There's probably a quicker way to do that. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, because I'm setting it there. Don't need that anymore. The object. Where am I using this again? Nowhere. I'm not using this anywhere. Yeah, so I don't need this. This will have default. Don't need to do that. Move this. Put this down one. So we first parse our variables, and again, I don't think I even really need this. I can just say value equals value if value else request.args.get value, and that way I don't need any of that garbage. So I have value by, and then I create the query. I get the updated object equals query filter by query by value the first, and then we do if there's no updated object, then it'll return what the error message that I got. And then if there is none of that, I can't believe I put that. What a fucking retard I am. And then we're going to do for key value in request.getJSON.args. We're going to set the value, set attribute of the updated object, and then we're going to add that, commit that, and then, yeah, there we go. All right, let's try it again. Still failed. Object is not defined. So we do use object somewhere. Well, we can just do model map.get object type .query.filter by, and then is this less than 79? 78, so close. Yeah, close enough. Can't really shrink that, so screw it. No entry found with item ID. Wait, what? Item ID? I'm passing in item. Oh my god, I didn't add an F string, did I? Where is it? Where is it? Where's the item update? God damn it. I am so stupid. Great, there we go. Easy. Let me go make sure my database didn't screw up somehow. Item, good. Return, none, user, 2. Good. Okay. So far, so good. Almost done with the test. I'll be done. Okay. The nice thing is this is going to be kind of a standardized way to make APIs. You know, like I have a standardized way of making APIs, but this is like giving me a lot of tools that I made myself that I don't have to kind of worry about, I suppose. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, this testing right here can probably be automated in itself, because really you're just you create, update, and then delete, create, update, delete, create, update, delete, and you could probably make a way to just automate this part as well. But, you know, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not doing that right now. Maybe in the future. Like you could probably have like a JSON file or something right? Where you just put in, say, like the, I don't know, you put in the name of the object, so return. You put in its data to create it, and then you give it something to update about it, and then you give it, that's it. Oh, and then you could give it like an object to then create under it until you've pretty much made your entire object, and then this would test the whole thing. You just make one method for the whole thing. Getting a little ahead of myself, but you get the idea. So that's good. That's good. What's next? What else do we have? So we have the item API. So user return item. That's really all we have right now. Yeah, I think that's it right now. So we will all right, what's next here? We made the test for that. For the return, the user, and the item. We have our util test. Can I actually run all these tests? How do you, I can't remember how to do it in VS Code. But how do you run folder of tests with unit testing? Oh, you can make it a package. So if I go into, so I have my test in here. If I do python-m unit test, and then I set it to discover, it will failed. Okay. Test utils. Oh yeah, because I don't have a right. The utils app takes in, or the test utils test. I know this takes in a, which one? It takes in number 256. Let's make one real quick. Just gonna make a test. Browse. I'm gonna go into returns, and I'm gonna make a new resource. What do I do? No. Where is it? I always forget where this button is. Add row. There we go. So I'm going to do ID 1 to get that phase. Say being credited. RGA 1 2 3 4 5 6. Reason processor error. Null. Hours null. Purchase order. PO 1 2 3 4 5. Account 1 2 0 1 2 3. Printed by test user. 6010. So in transit. These are some test notes. Replaced. Just gonna skip those two lot IDs. Just move one. Save. Right. No errors. And then I'm gonna go over to item and do a new item. Same kind of thing. Just gonna be ID1 catalog. You know, let me actually grab an actual item. So use some real data. Oh yeah, serial data. Hell yeah. Product. Is this the product or catalog? Yeah, this is the catalog. Catalog. Status. Resell approved. Lot ID. DOT status. Transit. Serial. Barcode will skip match 1. Go. Oh, it bases it off of the RGA. Wait a minute. What did I make the RGA? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, I did. I changed. Okay. So now, I'm going to close this. And I'm going to change this one to... Should we? Yeah, we should. Yeah, it's fine. Just for now. I was going to think maybe if I put it in the... Alright, let's run all the tests. Discovery. 8 tests ran and 8 successful. Nice. Awesome. This is awesome. So now whenever I do a change, I have a crap load of tests that I can run that will test everything. 100% coverage, baby. 100% coverage. Huh. Dude, my my eye is hurting. Ugh. I don't know if I should try to like stretch it out by like looking in weird directions, but God, it just hurts. Feels like I have an infection, like my eye's infected. Sucks. Sucks. It is what it is. Okay. Cool. So now that we have all these tests, I think officially, almost officially, we do not have the TMs yet. So let's make the TMs, which this is going to be really easy because there's no, you know what I'm trying to say. There's no, relationships. Territory managers, great. Let's go. So let's do that, but with all lowercase. Territory manager. And let's quickly change out all these items to territory manager. And then we will do post. There we go. So let's go ahead and the test cases can be completely separate for these. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to copy this. And we're going to do, actually, let's write some comments here. User tests. We're going to go down here and do return tests all the way to the bottom. TM tests. So, test TM single, test TM all, test TM create deletes. Yes, enter. Okay, so let's go to our models real quick and look at our TM, which is a very small thing. So we're going to create and delete. API territory managers data. And let's see, what is it for the territory managers? It's name, email, phone. So we'll say name, email, phone. And then we will do phone, email, and name. Bob Joe. Cool. Now we do need one territory manager in there just for the testing sake. So let me just go in here and just do a new row. ID 1, name Jill Jones, email jill@.com, phone number so 41231234. Wait, is this the wait, what? So that should be, it should work. Errors here, no duplicates or anything. Alright, let's run. Great. There we go. So now we got the test for our territory managers. Look how easy it was to set up that endpoint as well. And the great thing about Flask in general is with, you know, APIs like this, I can basically, if there needs to be an implemented change, it's very easy to do. The issue is that sometimes it can lack standardization, but nonetheless, if you have proper test cases, and it's kind of like, to be honest, I honestly compare like Django and Flask, and I do this a lot, but I always compare them to React and Angular. Django being this framework that you can use right out of the box, and it almost has everything that you need built in, which is great in a lot of ways, but for someone who doesn't, it's just more complex. Flask is sort of more like React. It's like it bases more of its dependencies on other developers, like Flask SQL Alchemy, Flask Login Manager, Flask, all this Marshmallow, like all that stuff is built into Django, which is great. But it's I think it's stronger when you can kind of build a system you want, how you want it from the ground up. Flask kind of provides a little bit better of a framework in terms of kind of making it the way you want. And you have a lot of powerful things that you can use, like for example, you could use things like app context is super powerful. I don't think they have that in Django. Or it doesn't really give you much access to it, or it might just be like super complicated to use. But what I see a lot, or what I've seen a lot, is people making these microservice APIs. And the more micro it becomes, the more customization you kind of want, the more logic that you want involved. And that's kind of where Flask thrives and where Django kind of fails. Because Django is really good for standard APIs that just read and write data, and that's all it does. But Flask is a little more Pythonic, I think. It feels like Django was like ported from another language, I think. It feels like that whenever I use it. Flask feels as Pythonic as it gets, Not dissing Django. I think Django is a great framework, and I think it's good right out of the box if you're making a site. It has everything you want, and you can learn it, but you're gonna kind of be isolated to that framework. Same thing with Angular. Angular is great for big companies that need standardization of a lot of different things and just kind of want to have one framework for everything. Whereas Flask, it's a little bit more like modular. It's much more modular, I'd say, and it allows for a lot more customization, like a normal, kind of like a normal Python file, a normal Python module. So that's kind of why I like it. At any rate, and I have no experience with Django testing or anything. Let me actually see. I'm curious. See if it has unit testing. I'm pretty sure it has good unit testing. Oh. That's interesting. So it really doesn't have like a... It relies pretty heavily on the unit testing framework, whereas Flask has... it has its own context manager where it'll actually create everything. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream here. I've done a lot. I don't know if you can hear this music. Hold on, let me bump this up. I know I can hear it. I don't know if you can. No, you can't. I wonder why. It doesn't let me change. Oh, it doesn't? Wait. Desktop audio. Ah, there we go. Let's get lit, boys. Anyway, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Just to go over what we accomplished. We created, I'm going to work kind of in backwards order here. We created the TM endpoints. We fixed up the... Oh, that's something we still need to do, actually. I'll probably do this off stream, but I just want to implement this function, this get model relationships. I want to implement that into the delete object function, so that if I try to delete a return, it will either disassociate the key, or it will... I don't actually know what to do with it. It'll either delete it or disassociate the primary key. So, or excuse me, the foreign key with another return. So, I don't know. We'll figure that out. Anyway.